Sorry, I was off. I couldn't listen to you as well. Okay. Welcome everyone for this September 7th already. September the 7th session. So hope everyone is doing well.
Hello, Professor.
And hello, how's it going?
Everything good, but before we start the class, may I ask you a question, please?
Absolutely. Go ahead, please.
We have two classmates that don't have access or they are not in the group of Teams. Those are Felipe Ibanez and Roy Morales. Can you add?
Ibanez. Right. Okay. And the second one?
Roy Morales.
Morales.
Sorry, and I may add that Daphne Yanich too.
Daphne Yanez. Okay. I added the three of them to the meeting. I'm not sure if they are added to the teams, so I need to get back to that. But so far they were added to the meeting. I'm calling Daphne. Felipe Ibanez is already here, I think. Hello, Felipe.
Hello, teacher. Good afternoon.
And, all right. And Roy is also here, I think.
Yes, I'm here.
Teacher, Alvaro Opaso is also missing. He's not in the teams. Alvaro Opaso.
Alvaro dot Opaso. Alvaro dot Opaso, not Alvarin and the other one, right?
Alvarin.
No, Alvaro dot Opaso is his institutional email. I'm used to the other. Okay, already invited him. Let's see if he can join us. I'm calling Daphne again. I tried Daphne dot Yanez. Is it Daphne with an F or a PH?
F.
Okay. So Daphne dot Yanez. Is it with Ñ or okay? Good. It's double N. Oh, it says Daphne Yanez M at ameliacurvis.cl. Do you think it? Daphne, are you here? Daphne?
I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Good. Very good. Very good. Because the other day I invited someone to a meeting, and unfortunately there was a coincidence in the name, and then she didn't say. I mean, she was a little bit rude that she didn't want to be in the meeting. But if you don't want to be in a meeting, why do you accept the invitation? I don't know. Anyway, let's for the heads up about the students who had to be here in this meeting. All right. So the rhythm and the syllable are the main topics for this 30-40 minute class. The rhythm and stress are suprasegmental features. I want you to understand that suprasegmental is going beyond what we did last semester, which was dealing with a specific and isolated sounds, right? Now we're going to talk about intonation, rhythm in English, word stress, sentence stress, all the features that go beyond individual sounds, but take on words and phrases and sentences. So the first of the suprasegmental features we're going to be dealing with this class are rhythm and stress, which are interconnected, okay? Because we stress words in specific syllables, we have rhythm, or the other way around. We have rhythm because we stress specific, because we say I don't know, we say, for example, wardrobe and not wardrobe, or we say interstate and not interstate, or sometimes we switch the word stress and we say, for example, import, and then we say import. But that change or shift of stress has a specific significance, which is we're changing the part of speech from a noun to a verb. Okay, so rhythm has to do with that. And some languages have a very specific rhythm, which is connected with giving each syllable the same amount of emphasis as we do in Spanish and other languages. In Spanish, we stressed every single language. Sorry about that. And in English, it's not like that. Okay, we don't stress every single language. So it's going to be. Some authors believe that English is quite rhythmical, and in this rhythm goes or you can see or perceive this rhythm when you pay attention to what people are saying in English, particularly native speakers, and they have like specific beats or strong beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they don't talk like robots, right? But in general, you can perceive that there's a specific beat consistently that comes every time the speaker is saying something. And the emphasis of this strong beat is most of the time a constant word. So every time the speaker is using a constant word, we stress that specific word in a very specific syllable. We talk about consonant words when we refer to nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. So consonant words are the most important elements in communication, because in general you can use them without using prepositions, without using articles, without using all the other words that are labeled function words. And still you can language, they may use consonant words. Think about babies or your right, and repetition. Specifically, they are referring to content words. Or they're using content words to communicate. They skip prepositions. Sometimes it is hard to understand whether they are referring to on, in, behind, next to, but we still get, I don't know, words like milk, right? And mama, milk. So content words are the most important words in a message or in an utterance, become a beat and then a couple of beats.
Professor? I'm sorry.
Okay, so for example, in the words below, we have words support, anchor. Yes, Javiera?
Professor, your internet is very bad.
Yeah, I missed like 3 minutes of your speaking.
Internet.
And now I hear you like a robot.
Okay, sorry. Let me try to fix this. Let me see if I can fix. Oh, that's
Please, we can hear you at all.
It said improve it. Give me a second. Sorry, can you hear me now better? Is the signal a bit better?
Yes, it's a bit better now.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for the feedback. So okay, the examples below. We have several words in which, in all of them, you can see schwa. And if you see that, for example, the first word atlas has the primary stress at the beginning, that's the syllable which is stressed, and the second one is unstressed. In the case of support, we have the second syllable which is stressed, as you can see here, with this primary stress, and the first one is unstressed. And coincidentally, we have a schwa again. The same thing with anchor, computer, and sofa. Always the unstressed syllable contains a reduced vowel sound, which is most of the times a schwa. So in the word atlas, the spelling is A. In the second one is U, and the next one is O, and the next one is O and E, and the last one is A. So as you can see, always when we're reducing a syllable, or when we are using an unstressed syllable, we turn any of the letters to be pronounced in a schwa, in an unstressed syllable. Okay, so to understand a little bit better the concept of rhythm and how some languages have syllable time languages, like Spanish, for example. We pronounced every single syllable, and we give the same amount of emphasis to each one, and how stress time syllables work as English and German. Probably this illustration can help us understand this. So in the first figure, the rhythm of a syllable time language, this is our case in Spanish. When we talk, we give each syllable the same amount of effort, the same amount of emphasis, and we pronounce every single syllable. And that's not only the case of Spanish, but also French, for example, and as far as I know, Turkish. But in the case of English and German and Russian, not all of the syllables are given the same emphasis. Some are stressed, others are unstressed, or are called weak syllables, right? Or reduced syllables. And then again, we have stressed syllables, and then again, we have unstressed ones. So the point is that in this stress time languages like English, in between these strong beats or stressed syllables, you can insert or squish in one or more unstressed syllables, and still the stress timing is going to be exactly the same. So that's cool, and that's interesting about this language. And it's a problem sometimes for people who are learning this language and actually are having a hard time because their own native language is not stress time as ours. This is a very good example I found, in which if we can use our imagination and we see an orchestra conductor, I mean, many of them who are competing for the same job, and they start counting, and they count like the one here at the very beginning. And if you can imagine the orchestra conductor saying 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second one applying for the job says 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Are you getting the idea? So the next one says, okay, I'm going to conduct now, and it starts counting. It says 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And the last one says, I'm going to start counting, and he starts saying 1 and then a 2 and then a 3 and then a 4. Are those rhythmic patterns different? Are they following the same rhythmic pattern? Basically, they are. Exactly, the same rhythm. And this is a very interesting analogy, because in this story that sounds like a joke, or it sounds like a story, right? And like an anecdote, basically you see the same beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, which represent, right, the stressed syllables. And in between, you can see that the first conductor, oh sorry, the second one introduced, right, or inserted and, but the third one inserted and the last one inserted and then a. You see 1 unstressed, 2 unstressed, and 3 unstressed syllables without changing the rhythmic pattern. Okay, so that is what happens with these stress time languages. In stress time languages, not every single syllable is giving the same emphasis or prominence. Some of them are more prominent than others. The more prominent syllables are the stressed ones, and the less prominent syllables are the unstressed ones. How can you tell that a syllable is more prominent or that is the stressed syllable? Basically, stressed syllable is louder, right? When you hear it very clearly because it's louder. The speaker produces this with more muscular effort. Therefore, it's easily or easier to be perceived. So it's louder. The other one is higher in pitch. In general, higher in pitch is that the pitch is a little bit high, not low, right? High in pitch. Okay, so it's that's very important to remember, because it's the point is that we need to be able to recognize these stressed syllables, right? Because they are louder and they have a higher pitch, right? So how can we put this into a context in this stress time English, or in stress time language? For example, we're able to perceive in this word that camera is not camera and it's not camera. The word is camera, with the initial syllable being the most prominent one, right? The one that is stressed. So it's louder, higher in pitch. So far, two main characteristics of the most prominent syllables. In the second case, we have record, suspect, and project, but at the same time, we have record, suspect, and project. So if we use the first syllable stressed, or if you make the first syllable more prominent, then we are using a noun. And if the second syllable is the stressed one or the most prominent one, we're using them as a noun. Does it make sense so far? Is it clear? Is there any question that you would like to ask?
Sorry, I didn't understand when they are prominent. The sound?
Right. Yes. For example, in the word camera, we first may identify the vowel sounds. How many vowel sounds can you identify?
3 or 2.
Right. Camera has 3 syllables. How can you know how many syllables a word has? Count the vowel sounds. So in this case, ca, m, re. We can count 3 vowel sounds. Therefore, we have 3 syllables. So basically, when you count the syllables in English, you count the vowel sounds of a word. That's basically, so it's basically equal. The number of vowel sounds equals the number of syllables. Okay, and since we have the word camera, camera, which do you think is the syllable which is the stressed syllable, or the one that carries the stress? Camera.
The first one?
The first one, exactly. The first one, that's right. And how can you tell that is the one that carries the stress, or where we are placing the word stress? That's something you need to ask. What do you think is more prominent?
The sound.
The sound, right? The sound, it's is more prominent because the syllable is louder. I mean, when you hear it, you hear camera. Oh, you are able to identify that the first syllable is stressed because it's louder. Now, in general, also prominent syllables are longer. I mean, it would take some technology, right, as the one used for acoustic phonetics, to register and measure the length of the syllables. But a prominent syllable, as the first one here, camera, it would be longer, it would be louder, right? Longer, louder, and it would have a higher pitch. It would sound higher in pitch. You know the pitch when we talk like with a high pitch, we talk like la, and when we talk with a low pitch, we talk like la. Okay, so the first one should have a higher pitch. So if we compare the 3 syllables, the first one should be longer, louder, and should have a higher pitch. That's how we can identify the most prominent syllables in a word. Now it's kind of easy here because this is only a 3-syllable word. In the case of the second one, record as a noun, a record. What's the most prominent syllable? I would say the first one, right? Record. So that's the thing about the stress timing languages, that words do not receive, I mean, or syllables in words do not receive the same emphasis, right? Some words are stressed in the first syllables, others in the second, other in the third, right? And this succession of strong syllables, right, or beats, are reflected in a rhythmic pattern. Okay. For example, if someone says, "I went to see my cousin," I went to see my cousin yesterday. I went to see my cousin yesterday. I went to see. So I went to see my cousin yesterday. I went to see my cousin yesterday. I went to see my cousin yesterday. So we would be able to identify that in this sentence, there are certain elements that are stressed, or that are more prominent. Went would be a verb, see a verb, cousin a noun, and yesterday a noun. So all of these content words are the ones that I select. I, as a speaker, I'm saying, right, I select to make more prominent in the sentence, right? So that you get the idea. You get that is went, see, cousin yesterday. Went, see, cousin yesterday. If I were talking like Tarzan, still probably you would get the message, right? If I say went, see, cousin yesterday, I'm just using content words, right? And you're still getting the idea, right? So those are the words that are more prominent in the sentence. And now in each one of the words, syllable is more prominent. In the word went, there's only one syllable, so it's the the syllable which is more prominent. See also is a one syllable word. Cussing, in the word cussing, I would say that we have two syllables, right? And the first one is the more prominent, or the most prominent one. And yesterday, there we have a three syllable word, right? Yesterday, which is quite close to the example of camera, in which the most prominent syllable of the three of them is the first one. So that is the we have rhythm because we have stressed syllables and unstressed ones. So we have a very, very specific and consistent pattern in English. Okay, that's what I meant by this, the correlation between stress and rhythm. One exists because of the other, right? And with stress, right, we provide degrees of emphasis, right? And we're going to see this when we talk about sentence stress specifically. Let's take a look at these examples, and let's see if I get 3 volunteers. Let's see if Joanna Mancilla, you could read the first one. Karina Pino, you could read the second one, and Roy Morales, you can read the third one, please. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. One. When are you coming to dinner?
Motorcycles can be dangerous to drive or ride on.
Last month, Carol got a job in San Francisco.
Perfect. Were you paying attention to which words and which specific syllables to stress, or you just read them naturally?
I saw the letters that are red to stress the word.
All right. Good job. So in the first case, when are you coming to dinner? When are you coming to dinner? When are you coming to dinner? When, it's very important because it's very important for me to know when or what time. That's why it's a stressed a word, and since it's a one syllable word, it's a stressed syllable. It's important, particularly when we use these interrogative pronouns: when, what time, who, what, because they are important. They are the piece of information that we want to know. You're directing the listener to give you the information. I don't want who is coming to dinner. I mean, when are you coming to dinner? So that's why it's very important. That's why it's a stressed word. Coming, because it's the action. Coming. When are you cooking? When are you staying for dinner? I want to know when you're coming to dinner. And that's why, and because it's a verb, it's an action, it's got to be stressed. And then dinner, because I'm not interested in where you're coming to lunch. When are you coming for breakfast? When are you coming to dinner? Okay, so when, coming, and dinner are very important elements in this utterance, in this WH question. That's why they are stressed. And each one has a syllable, which is the stressed one, right? When, I mean, we don't care about when because it's a one syllable word. Coming, we never stress the ing form. So it's the first syllable, coming. And dinner, the first nouns, motorcycles, they are adjectives, dangerous, or they are verbs, drive, ride. So remember, all those are content words, and content words are the ones that carry the stress. And if you read the last one, last month, Carol got a job in San Francisco. There is a consistent pattern, a consistent rhythmic pattern in which we go from a stressed syllable, last, to an unstressed one, month. And then again stressed, care, and then roll, unstressed. Then got, again stressed, and then unstressed. Same thing, job stressed, in unstressed. Sen, stressed, front unstressed. Sis, stressed, and finally the last one is unstressed. So you see this consistent rhythmic pattern that we need to get used to when we speak English. So that is an interesting aspect of this consistent beats, right? In which we keep this, and in the middle of these strong beats, we can insert 1, 2, 3, or even 4 unstressed syllables. That doesn't happen in Spanish. Let's take a look at this next example. And let's see if I can ask for the help of Tamara for the first one, Patricio Santander for the next one, and Margaret Salgado for the third one, please. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bob ate some corn.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Kenny has gone to France and back.
Excellent.
The Americans are buying some souvenirs and posters.
Wonderful. Excellent. So you got it. You got this. If you were snapping your fingers or clapping or I don't know, tapping on the desk, right, or on a table or on your knee, in the first sentence we have 4 syllables, in the second one 8 syllables, and in the last one 15 syllables. But again, there was this consistent rhythm. Bob ate some corn. Bob ate some corn. Now we could say Bob ate some corn, and we could have maybe 3. But anyway, Bob ate some corn. And Kenny has gone to France and back. Kenny has gone to France and back. The Americans are buying some souvenirs and posters. So we have 4 beats in each one of them, even though we have only 4 syllables in the first one, 8, and in between these 2 strong beats and these two we have has, to, and probably all of them have a schwa because they are unstressed syllable, so they there is a reduced vowel. Has probably has a schwa. T also a schwa, and also a schwa. Okay, and the same thing here. The buying some souvenirs. So if it's not a schwa, it's a short and lax e. Okay, so that is interesting about the possibility of squeezing, right, or squishing, right, some unstressed syllables in between these strong beats. I have 10 exercises. Then I'm going to choose 5 participants from the room. Camila Aguilar, can you take the first 2, please? Carla Montesinos, 3 and 4, Constanza Soto, 5 and 6, Esteban Diaz, 7 and 8, and Felipe Ibanez, 9 and 10, please. Is that okay with you guys? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Go on, please.
If you perfect your intonation, you can your accent will be perfect.
Excellent.
How can you object to this object?
Can you try the second one again, please?
How can you object to this object? Object.
Yes. Try that again and use the example that you used here in the first one. Perfect for the verb and perfect for the adjective.
Okay. How can you object to this object?
Wonderful. Good job. Next one, please.
I'd like to present you with this present. The manufacturer couldn't recall if there been a recall.
All right, very good. Now try the third one because this it's a verb, right? And this is a noun. So present. And exactly present and present.
Okay. I'd like to present you this present.
Good. Now try again saying present with this in the second syllable, right? Present. And this one in the first one, present.
Okay. I'd like to present you with this present.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good. I'd like you to present you with this present. Z
okay.
And excellent. And the second one, very good. You said the manufacturer couldn't recall. If there'd been
a recall.
Exactly. Some say recall, some say recall. Exactly. The important aspect is that you're shifting the word stress from the second syllable for a verb to the first syllable in a noun, right? All right, thank you so much. Next one.
The religious convert wanted to convert the word. The political rebels wanted to rebel against the word.
All right. Yes, but it's the other way around. So, for example, this one is convert because it's a noun. Convert.
Oh, yes.
All right. And the second one is a verb, so it's the second syllable. Try again, please.
The religious convert wanted to convert the word.
Perfect. The next one, please. The same thing. First one.
The political, political rebels wanted to rebel against the word.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. You got it. The political rebels wanted to rebel against the world. Excellent. First syllable, noun. Second syllable, verb. All right. Excellent. Next one, please.
I can't really project how this project will turn out.
Wow.
You need to insert a paragraph here in this newspaper insert.
You got it. You nailed that one. Excellent. Very good.
Thanks.
Sure. You used a second syllable for a verb, project, and first syllable for a noun, project. Wonderful. In the second one, you used insert for the verb, the action, and insert, the first syllable for a noun. Good job. Well done. Thank you so much. Next one, please.
Okay. Due to the drought, the fields didn't produce much produce this year.
Good.
Unfortunately, City Hall wouldn't permit them to get a permit.
Perfect. You got it. Good job. Due to the drought. Drought is, when there are no rains, no water, everything's very dry, okay? No drought. And you use produce for the verb, excellent, and produce for the noun, good job. And in the second one, the city hall wouldn't permit, because it's the verb, the action, so the second syllable, and permit, you use the first syllable to use the noun. Excellent, very well done. So you see there is some consistency in the use of these words. In general terms, what's the rule that you think you could apply for the pronunciation of these words, Mr. Joaquín Pino Calderón? Joaquín, are you here today? Anyone interested if Joaquin doesn't show up in trying to explain which could be the rule to apply whenever we are pronouncing these words? There must be some sort of anchor to hold on to, some sort of rule to know where we're stepping into. Let me try with Jorge Pinto. Do you see any pattern here?
Not really. I don't know the answer.
All right, that's fine, and I really appreciate the honesty. So no, don't be.
Teacher,
really, yes.
Do you mean the difference between the nouns and the verbs?
Yes, for example, you see perfect and perfect, and you see object and object, present, present. What sort of rule do you think you could use to explain this phenomenon?
If the stress is on the first syllable, it's a noun. I mean,
okay.
If it's a noun, you have to stress in the first syllable, and if it's a verb, you have to stress on the second syllable.
Exactly. That could be some sort of rule, right? That we can use. Now, not always. We're looking at this. We're hearing the same pronunciation, but in general, yes, exactly. That's the idea, right? I'm sure that some of these verbs or nouns are not something you are very familiar with. For example, object and object, right? But I think if you've watched movies in which you have seen courtrooms and lawyers and judges, some of the lawyers or attorneys say, "I object, Your Honor. I object." Right? I object to the comment made by, etc., etc. So object is the action. And the object, I think we're more familiar with this word to refer to, things, the object. Now, if you look at this, the political rebels wanted to rebel. There's a slight change in terms of the vowels used, but still, since we're looking at which syllable is stressed and which syllable is more prominent, meaning which one is louder, right, which is longer, and which is higher in pitch, I think it's easier for us to identify that in the first one, rebels, the first syllable is the one which is prominent in this word. And in the second example, rebel, I think everyone agrees that is the second one, the most prominent syllable, because it's louder, longer, and higher in pitch. And the shift in stress changes the part of speech. So the idea is, in general, that you can identify that if you're using the or placing the placing the stress in the first syllable, we are probably looking at a noun. or we're using a noun. And if you're placing the stress or stress in the second syllable or the last one, probably we are looking at a verb, right? Now, it's interesting this thing about syllabus, and we're going to finish with this slide, today's session. This is what we're going to be discussing next syllable. How or what composes or what is a syllable made of? And when we look at a syllable, we're looking at first vowel sounds. If there is a vowel sound, we have a syllable. For example, the word cat. The word cat. How many vowel sounds can you hear in the word cat? The animal, cat.
Just one.
One.
Just one. Exactly. Just one. Perfect. So one vowel sound, one syllable. That's the idea. If in the word, for example, ago, like it was 10 years ago when I met your mother. Ago. How many vowel sounds can you hear?
Two.
Two.
Exactly, two, because we're considering diphthongs as one unit in this course, right? So two. So two vowel sounds, therefore two syllables. Okay? Now, one syllable, one word, I mean, one vowel sound can be a syllable. For example, if I say a cat, is one syllable. We have one vowel sound, right? A schwa. Now, in the word cat, we can identify the nucleus because the nucleus is always the syllable. So in the word cat, the syllable is the vowel sound, the one called trap. The trap is the nucleus, right? Now, what comes after the vowel sound is the consonant t, right? So t would be called the coda. Okay, the coda. What comes after the nucleus is called the coda. In the case of the syllable I'm sorry, the one word, the one syllable word cat, the nucleus is a, and the consonant is t. Now, the vowel sound a and the consonant t is the rhyme. Okay, so the rhyme is basically so we have the nucleus a and t. So a and t, meaning the nucleus, and the coda, that's the rhyme. Okay, and whatever comes before the nucleus, right, is going to be called the onset. In the case of the syllable cat, which is a word and also one syllable, right? What comes before is the sound k, and that is going to be the onset. Okay, so in a very, very simple case, a one syllable word, we were able to identify the nucleus. I'm going to write the word here, cat. So the nucleus of this syllable is always the vowel sound, a. What comes after the nucleus is the sound t. That's going to be called the coda. Now these two are called the rhyme. The nucleus and the coda are called the rhyme. So that's why it's very easy to rhyme words. So you say cat. What rhymes with cat? Pat. Okay, that. All right, because you look at the nucleus and you look at the coda and you find a word which has the same nucleus and the same coda, and that's why they rhyme. Okay, so these two are called the rhyme. And whatever sound comes before the nucleus, that's going to be called the onset. The onset. Okay, so these terms are the ones we're going to refer to when we describe a syllable. Okay, we're going to refer to the syllable, the description as the nucleus, what comes before the nucleus, the onset. What comes after the nucleus, the coda, and the nucleus plus the coda, it's going to be the rhyme. Okay, so this is something that I want you to take home, just so to speak. Okay, that today we talked about let me see if I can go back. We talked about the rhythm in English. We mentioned that English is a very rhythmical language that in general goes from strong beat or strong syllable to another one, but in between we can use reduced syllables or weak syllables. And you can insert in between these strong beats or strong syllables 1, 2, or more weak syllables. That's the difference with the other languages like Spanish, which are called syllable time languages, in which all syllables receive the same emphasis, the same the same length, right? And then we talked that stress and rhythm are interconnected. There's a correlation because stress is placed in specific syllables of words, and in the end, when you put several words in an utterance or in a sentence, right? All these stress syllables become a rhythm. That's why the interconnection between rhythm and stress. And some syllables are stressed, others are not. And how can you identify a syllable? Basically, you identify the nucleus of the syllable, which is always a vowel sound, right? And then the sound or the consonant that comes after the nucleus is going to be called coda, right? And whatever comes before is going to be called onset. So keep this in mind because later on we're going to, when I say later on, I mean next class, which is going to be on Friday. We're going to talk about syllabification, which is how we can divide syllables in words. That sometimes it works what we did when we were in primary school, primary levels, when we were taught to say me, sa, camara. So, all right, guys. So time to finish the session. Please come on Friday because syllabification is not easy. It's not as hard as it might be, but still we need to pay attention to what we're going to be doing on Friday. Okay, so I'll see you on Friday. Stay safe.
Sir?
Thank you,
I'm
teacher.
listening.
I think we have the next class on Thursday, not Friday.
Do we?
Yes. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I said Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think because I have that in my schedule. So it's not on Friday.
No.
It's on Thursday. You're completely right and I'm completely wrong. Thank you for the heads up. It's on a Thursday. You're totally right. Appreciate it. I really appreciate the comment because I was really looking at Friday and no, I'm mistaken. Thank you for the correction. Appreciate it.
Okay, sir.
Alrighty. Thank you, guys. I'll see you then on Thursday. Goodbye. See you around.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.